Hello folks, welcome back to our course. In today's course, we're going to discuss about AI agents. So before we talk about AI agent, I want to briefly discuss three different AI automation levels out there. Um, and this is my personal opinion, by the way. It doesn't necessarily represent a mainstream view. In my mind, there are three levels of AI automation. The easy level, which we kind of like already covered, like standalone ChatGPT or Anthropic, and even the custom GPTs we learned like in our last class, as well as standard agent offered by those solutions. Those are the easy level solutions. Then we get to the intermediate level of AI solutions, where you can build your custom AI agents. The most popular example today is N8N, which I'm gonna show you later in this class. And also ChatGPT, OpenAI just recently launched AI agent building. It's also a custom agent solution. You can drag and drop different widgets and build a custom AI agent yourself. So those are intermediate level of AI agents. You can actually create a pretty complex AI agent workflows yourself to solve some practical issues. And then the most difficult but actually most practical and production ready solution is the AI API solution plus coding. So this is essentially you can build all kinds of AI agents with your own custom logic. This is where, like for folks working in accounting and finance, you can build custom AI agent solutions combined with your programming Python skills to automate your actual finance and accounting wallpapers end to end. So this is the most difficult part, and which we will have a course to cover in that as well. So with this, let's discuss some of the custom AI agent and what does AI agent really mean. So before we discuss how I build AI agent, I want to first show you how a classic AI agent works. I'm gonna show you the AI agent works in real time. Imagine you have a lot of sales contracts, and the sales contract can be managed by a lot of people in an organization. So if you want to extract certain fields from the sales contract, of course you can read the contract and build a spreadsheet like what we are seeing on the left side of our screen. But that takes time. So, and AI is the perfect solution reading the contract and help us extract valuable information from the contract. So, in fact, I bet many of you already, tried upload PDFs to ChatGPT or Anthropic and ask AI to extract certain information from the PDF, right? But what if you want to do it automatically? So then AI agent is your perfect solution for that. Imagine like everyone in the organization have the ability just to upload the contract to a Google Drive, which is a shared Google Drive, and then AI agent work automatically behind the scenes to basically read every single contract people upload, and also extract those informations automatically, and then populate these Google Sheets automatically. That would be ideal. And this is essentially what AI agent can help you with. For example, in our demonstration, I have this public cloud contract. I think it's with one of the DC's government agencies. So if I upload this contract to this Google Drive, my AI agent working behind the scenes is gonna read this contract and automatically populate the values into our Google Sheet. So let's give it a minute to see whether this is successful. And here you go. It captured the client, service provider, effective date, expiration date. It didn't capture the signature date yet because AI has its limitations. Some of the signatures, especially it's a handwritten signature, it's probably hard to distinguish. But successfully extract the contract value, which is a pretty good result for us. And this is essentially what AI agent is able to do. Now you have seen how this AI agent worked. Let's take a look at the AI agent itself. So I'm using a solution from N8N, but I'm basically running the N8N workflow locally. If you look at my URL here, it's a local host on my machines. Um, and and this whole thing is essentially how this AI agent works. It tracks Google Drive. It basically, if a file is created, in our case, it's whenever a file is uploaded, it triggers this Google Drive trigger. And then the next step is download the file. And then the next step is extract the data from this PDF. And after the extraction of the data, we send that to the AI agent. So in this AI agent, I'm using OpenAI's chat model. I'm using OpenAI API to do this. But also additionally, I'm requiring a structured output because here I have like certain fields, right? Client, service provider, effective date, expiry date, signature date, and contract value. I don't want AI to give me some random results. So I want the output to be structured. And then at the end, I'm connecting back to my Google Sheets, basically saying for each contract created, I'm appending a new row in this Google Sheets. So this is how this AI agent workflow is built. And then I can basically close this window. I don't even need to keep the browser open. I can just close it. As long as I have the container running in the background, basically I have a local server running, and basically this program works. With this, we're gonna dive a little bit deeper into how I exactly build this solution. First, I want to give you a quick overview of what is N8N. By the way, a disclaimer, I have no relationship with N8N and I don't have any sponsorship from them. I'm not promoting their product. So I'm simply doing this because N8N has been very popular among professionals working in the AI space, just because how easily you can use to build a AI agent workflow. So if you go to n8n.io, this is their official website. And if you scroll all the way down, it will show you very popular integrations. You can build an AI agent working with Google Sheets, Telegram, MySQL, Slack, Discord, Postgres, Notion, Gmail, and Google Drive, Airtables. And also you can connect it with, HubSpot and QuickBooks, Asana, Slack, and Salesforce, Jira, pretty much all kinds of corporate and enterprise solutions you can think of. So this is why it is very popular because it's very practical. The pre-built integration layers are very easy to use, so you can build a very good AI agents workflows in real time, like pretty easily. With this, let's go to their docs. And I'm using a self-host N8N here. So, and let me explain to you what does it mean. So N8N offers a cloud solution, which of course they are hosting all of the workflows like this on their server. So that's where you need to pay them a fee subscription for it, because they're hosting those workflows for you and process all those data on their platform, right? But for me, because I work with a lot of financial data and confidential data, honestly, so I couldn't easily go on and there and use their cloud solution. Using cloud solution is actually the easiest. However, given the confidentiality concerns, I decided to do self-hosting. Self-hosting is a little bit more complex because essentially you're running a AI agent workflow and locally on your machine. And so basically you don't expose your data to a provider like n8n. And this self-hosting does have a lot of benefits because first of all, I'm hosting this locally on my machine. I'm not paying anything to n8n at all. And also it's like it's safer. The data is safer because I control the environment, right? So with this being said, if you don't have these limitations, of course, I encourage you to use the cloud version, so you don't have to run the Docker for self-hosting and do the complex Docker configuration. In our class, I will discuss self-hosting just because this is the most complicated solution. And I will briefly discuss how you can configure your Docker images to run n8n as well. So before we discuss how to self-host n8n solutions, let's first discuss what is container and what is Docker. So Docker is the company or the platform behind container technologies. Container is essentially a technology where it allows you to isolate a part of your system resource into a container, and within that container, you can have different systems, different operating system in that container. You can essentially install your programs within that container and create the container image, and then you can deploy that container onto any machines you like, and also any cloud providers you like. So it's very portable. And once you build that container image, you can essentially run that program anywhere. And what's happening inside of a container has very little interference with the external system, with external things outside of container. So it's a very good technology. Docker developed it many years ago and it's still very popular today. Then I think the whole AI trend revitalized the whole container thing as well, because there are so many people developing AI technologies and put it in the container and try to make it easy to be deployed. With this, let's go to Docker and actually download Docker onto our machine. And once it's installed, then we can start using containers to self-host n8n. To download Docker onto your machine, first you need to go to docker.com. So, and then this is where you can download Docker Desktop. If you are Mac version, of course, pick the right Mac version for you. And also, I'm using ARM64 structures Windows, so I'm downloading it here. I don't have AMD chips. If you have AMD chips, make sure you download it here. So I already have Docker installed, so I'm not gonna download it again and reinstall it again. It will require you to reboot your computer after the installation. So once you install, you will start seeing this icon running behind the scenes. So if you double click, you will open up this essentially a Docker application. And this is where first, before you run any container, you want to get the program first, right? The program is called images. So that from that images, you can create containers running on your machine. So the first images you're gonna find is n8n image. To find that image is you go to the search bar and search n8n, and this is where you will see the first one, n8n IO. So this is essentially the official n8n Docker image. So you can just click pull here. You can directly run it from here, but I don't recommend. I actually recommend you pull it down and download it first onto your local machine. So download it first. Once you click download, essentially you will have this image within your Docker application. And this image is essentially the entire n8n's workflows can do for you locally on your own machine. Once it's downloaded, you want to run, and we will cover how you can configure it before you run this. Before you start running this image and create a container, I would first recommend you to go on to the aiagent official docs for self-hosting. And then if you look at here, it has a Docker installation guide. Open this up, and there's a person who actually gonna teach you and walk you through how to quickly install Dockers and configure the Dockers for aiagent as well. And all we need here is essentially this terminal. So you can either run Docker directly in your terminals or CMDs command lines within your machine, but it's much easier to run it from the Docker application itself. So with this, I click the play button for the image, and it will ask me for optional settings. And please do not click run yet. So you need to configure the program, the container here, and you give a name. You can call it aiagent testing experiment. And then you can designate a port to basically run this container. So for me, I've already used 5678, so I'm just gonna put a 0 to randomly assign a host port from onto the machine. And then the volume here, essentially, this is where it asks me for a data path, which data path I want to create. And here I can either select the folder or I can create the folder myself. Essentially, here in this example, the volume here is called aiagent data, and then the path is here, the home node aiagent. So I can just directly copy that in. And then we need environment variables. So if you have taken the Python course, you already know what variables are, right? So those environment variables are program dependent variables that's going to be used in the containerized program. So it needs, if you count this here, it needs 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 variables in here. So let's create 4. And the first variable is called generic time zone. And you can basically put your time zone in here. I'm in New York, so my time zone would be Americas, New York. I do believe, I'm not sure it's Americas or America. Let me check. Here you see the generic time zone here. And basically give you an example, what this default should be. And you can just basically list your time zone here. So looks like I did the correct. It's America, not Americas. And same thing, the second variable is TZ, which stands for time zone. It's the same value all over again. And then the third value is whether I want to enforce the setting files permissions. I will say true. And then runners enabled, yes, true. So with all that, instead I can click run and start the image. So I already have a aiagent's image started already behind the scenes. So that's why I have it here. You see the 5678 local host in here. So I'm not going to click run. But for you, you should click run and just let the container running on your machine. And then after that, you should see, if you look at this one, you should see there's a container running on your machine. And in this container, you will see this come from that image and also have this ports open for this container. And you can just click this. This is where you can directly go into aiagent platform. And this platform, as you can tell, because you're running from a local container, it's a local hosted containerized aiagent solution. And in here, you can basically create a new workflow or modify or update your existing workflow. With this, let's dive deep into some of the workflows I built for the examples I showed you earlier. Before we start, I want to for you to first look at here. There are many templates already pre-built for you. You don't have to start from scratch. So if you want to uh, have a pre-built agent like for email triage or create a knowledge store agent, basically answer questions using document uploaded to Google Drive. Essentially, you can click here and will simply build basically simply already build this AI agent for you. And this is where you can quickly build those agents with pre-built templates. And then it also for every single template, it comes with walkthroughs of the YouTube so that you can watch yourself. So this is pretty nice. And you can jumpstart your building by picking the closest templates you want to start with. And also beyond those pre-built agents, you can actually look at some tutorial templates where you can start building your first AI agent. Basically start from simple and learn some JSON basics. JSON is a data structure which we kind of discussed in our Python courses earlier as well. And also some API fundamentals. And you can, once you click a view all templates, actually you're leaving your local host, going to aiagent's website. And this is where it have, right now as of today, it has 6,282 workflow automation templates. And if you search, let's say Slack, let's say how many different Slack templates that is available for you right there. And it's crazy, right? Like, because this is a community project, many people publishes free templates you can use to start for free. So that's why I like it, and it's very popular. A lot of people already pre-develop those templates, which you can leverage immediately. With this being said, let's go back to our workflow to basically look at how did I build this contract. Like this workflow is essentially upload the contract, local contract to a Google Drive, and the Google Drive download the contract, send it to ChatGPT 5, and the ChatGPT 5 analyze it and send the structured output to Google Sheet. So this is how it's been working, and you can tell this is basically marked active. So when it's active, it's basically automatically running behind the scenes. As long as I have a Docker running on my machine, this workflow will work. With this being said, let's dive into each icons and how I build these workflows step by step. First, to find all those widgets like Google Drive trigger, download file, all those, you can essentially create open nodes panel in here. And this is where you can quickly search. If I want automation relates to Google Drive, I can simply say Google Drive here. And within here, you can explore all kinds of Google Drive related nodes. So here I used the one called essentially the triggers. So here I said on changes involving a specific folder. And you can also select on changes to a specific file, of course. So I basically select this on changes involving a specific folder because I wanted to track every single time a contract is being uploaded, right? So once I drag it into this canvas, I can basically configure it. And this is where I can connect to my Google Drive accounts through an also2 API. Once I build the also2 API, I essentially can configure the node to run every minute. So that's why we were like waiting for the program to finish earlier, because the scanner only scans the drive every minute here. And of course, you can configure yourself, like can run it every hour, every day, every week. So it doesn't have to be, every minute. And you can customize it too. And also you can basically scan the folder in different mode. Here I have every minute. I can also add another one called like every hour. So it's really up to you. And the trigger I'm selecting here is changes involving a specific folder. And once I connect it to my Google Drive account, it actually will list all the folders I have. So, and I just need to select the folders I want. Here, I just selected this folder in my Google Drive, which is and contract folder I created. And then I need to watch for the file created. And of course, you can also watch for different file updated. If the file is constantly updating, you just want to watch for that file. You can just click file updated or folder created. You can watch for different events to create this Google Drive trigger. So you might have a question like, okay, how do I connect this to my workspace Google account? Essentially, what you need to do is you need to have access to your Google Cloud Console. So here, I basically create a Google Cloud Console. I put my client ID and client secret here, and then connect it to Google Drive by clicking, sign in with Google. This is how I connected this with my Google account by supplying the client ID and the client secret. How to get client ID and client secret? So let us quickly finish the walkthrough of this workflow first, and then I will show you how you can create your own Google Cloud project, and then within that project you can create this also to API like authentication abilities, so you can connect this with aiagent. And then the second one is download file. Same thing. I need to connect with my Google Drive account. Basically all I need to do is file and download. And here, this is the configuration. This is the configuration part, which is JSON ID. Like, how do I know I'm pulling this file by ID? How do I know this is one I need? So I can execute the previous nodes. So if I click previous nodes in here, so I will be able to find IDs. I will go ahead and search IDs in here. It will highlight all those IDs for me, right? So, and this is where I will look to what's the correct ID I should pull. So essentially it's this one here. And all I need to do within aiagent is to drag this and put it in here. That's how I basically know, oh, I need to create these variables for this download file step. So I just need to drag here, put it in the blank. That's essentially what I did. And it also will show you, in result, it will be this result. And this actually is, if we go to our Google Drive, this actually is the file IDs for that specific contract we just uploaded. So this is the second step. And then the third step, which is extract from PDF. This is the pre-built extraction nodes that aiagent provides. All you simply need to do is to search extract, and you see this icon, extract from file. And this is where you can extract from CSV, a website, a JSON, or PDF. We need PDF. So, and you can also, of course, work with XLS and Excel file. So once you extract it from the file, this is where you can search aiagent and configure aiagent. So here you can configure the aiagent. Let me double click this and let you see what this aiagent, how the aiagent is configured. I usually I don't have to connect the chat trigger node. I mean, essentially, basically, I define this agent myself. So what I'm doing here is please read and understand the input data. And what is the input data? This is this data. like where this variable comes from. Again, execute the previous node, and search the relevant here, right? This is the text. This is the text from the contract I want AI to analyze, right? So all I need to do is to drag that into here to create this variable. So, and with this is my prompt. I would like you to extract client, service provider, effective date, expiration date, signature date, and contract value. So essentially, this is my simple prompt to AI and what I want AI to do. And then also I can require specific output format, right? So if I require a specific output format, then I can essentially add an output parser where I can stipulate what kind of output I want, which is this one here. Let me just reconnect this over here. And this output parser is essentially saying, I want this to output a JSON file, a JSON output, which with this client, service provider, effective date, expiration date, signature date, and contract value with an example like this. So this way, GenAI is trying to output in this format for me. So that's how you are saying in this file, that's how you are saying it's output exactly the format like I wanted. So this is how it works. And after the output of the structured format, essentially I want this to append a new row. Sorry, I accidentally added the new AI agent earlier. So I basically appended the new row in the Google Sheet. Again, to connect to the Google Sheet, I need to connect to Google Sheet account, which is we will discuss briefly at the end of this class. And then the resource I will say, well, I want to update a particular the sheet within this document. What I want to do, which sheet it is, I want this basically this Google Sheet, and then contract test this Google Sheet here, and then I want to update the sheet number 1 because this is the sheet number 1 here, and here what kind of operation I want? I want every time a PDF contract is uploaded to Google Drive, I want to append a new row into this Google Sheet. And of course, because my previous step output a JSON file, right? Output a JSON file, output client, service provider, and effective date. So I'm essentially create a mapping here. Like I want the client column to map to this JSON file client. Basically, I drag and drop it in here. And I want this service provider column to map it to service provider here, drag and drop there. So you can see most of this is simply a drag and drop. So at end, I've essentially completed this entire AI agent workflow. This is how this AI agent workflow is built. And you can similarly follow the same step and building the things yourself. And of course, you do need, if you need offset external integrations, for example, here we have Google Drive. And also the Google Sheets. You do need to configure that external integrations as well because it needs your credentials. And also here, the OpenAI chat models, it connected to my OpenAI account. So I essentially, if I added here, I essentially provided my OpenAI API key. So I will briefly discuss how you can get your own OpenAI API key as well at the end of this course to show you how you can quickly get those API keys as well as set up projects within your Google Cloud Console so you have the ability to build those integrations yourself. So previously in our A&N project, we have integrations with Google Cloud as well as OpenAI. I'm going to briefly discuss how you can set it up in your account. Even though this is not technically related to AI agents itself, I think it's very helpful for you to know how you can set up integrations within your Google account, as well as OpenAI API services. So if you are in a corporate setting, you may not have access to Google Cloud Console. So in that event, you really need to ask your IT administrator to give you access to an existing project or help you create a new project for you. So to create a new project, you can just simply create a new project here, I will say, and then project tutorial, and I will basically click create. Once I click create, essentially it will say, give me a notification. It created this one here, so I can actually go into that project. So when I click go into that project, it will create, I'm basically are in that then project tutorial now. With this, let me first enable the APIs within this project. To enable APIs, I just click that API and services button. And this is where I can click this button called Enable APIs and Services. It will navigate to basically an API library. This is where I can just search Google Drive API, and here I can just click Enable. It will enable the Google Drive API for me under this project. After it's enabled, I can also disable it, of course, and then I also need a Google Sheets, right? So here I can just search a Google Sheets API, and again enable this API as well. So now we have both Google Services APIs enabled for under this Google Cloud project. I can just go into credentials. And here you will see I don't have any client created yet, right? So in this case, let's create also two client. Basically, it's application. This is where I can say I'm gonna create an testing project. This is my app name. Supporting email, of course, I'm gonna select my email, and because I'm gonna running the whole NAN project on my own machine, so I'm gonna select the internal. You may not be able to select the internal if you are using a free Google. If you are using a free Google account, you probably can only select external because you don't have the internal resources. But if you have a workspace account and only want to run this on your own machine, you should be able to select the internal account. So with this, I provide the contact information, agree to the data policies. I will just basically click continue, and this is where I can create. I essentially create also to client, and this is where I can just click this button and tell Google what kind of application this is. Because this is a web application, even though I'm self-hosting this web application of ANN, so I will just tell it's a web application. I will give a name, give a meaningful name. I will say ANN project tutorial, and here I will add URI to. Well, I actually don't need URI here. I need a URI for authorized redirect. This redirect is essentially saying when I click that button in my end to authorize with Google, where that what's the next step for Google to redirect to back to my workflow, right? So if I open my local host and if I look at this configuration, it basically tells me also redirect URL should be this one. So I just need to click it and then copy this one into redirect URL. Once I added the redirect URL, I can just basically click a button, create. And here, this is the most important part. This is where I get my client ID as well as my client secret. So I need to copy this and paste it in the client ID and client secret here. And for those of you who are worried about my security, you don't have to, because I'm gonna delete this project and disable this client ID and client secret later on for sure. Make sure you don't share this with anybody else, right? And this is a very confidential, and basically whoever having your ID and the client secret can get access to your Google Cloud resources. So don't share it. But you do need those two, the one ID and secret, to basically pass it into these configurations to make it work. So once you pass those two, and then you can click sign in with Google, and this is where after you connect it, will show account connected. So this is essentially your last step. What you need to do to basically build the integrations with Google account. Now we have discussed how to set up integrations with Google account within our aid and workflows. The last step we need to do is how to set up integrations with OpenAI account. So it essentially requires API key. So to get the API key, all you need to do is to go to a platform.openai.com /API dash keys. And this is where you can create a new security key. And of course, after creation of this security key, I'm gonna delete it. So I will call it and tutorial. This is where I can create a new key. After I create a new key, I can directly copy this and pass it to the API key page in ANN. So, and that's it. And with this, I'm gonna delete this ANN tutorial. You can revoke the keys anytime you want, because you don't want to keep using the same key if the key got accidentally exposed to external party. So with this, we have completed a whole tutorial about this N8N workflow. So I hope you really spend the time to try to build a very basic workflows yourself. I highly recommend you go to templates and start doing those tutorial templates first to learn the very basics before you build a production ready complex AI agent. So thank you very much for watching this course. I hope you really enjoy this. And there are endless possibilities out there for you to build different kind of AI workflow agents that can automate your work. So if you have any questions, don't forget to ask questions in our Discord channel. I'm really here to help you. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.